Hello, everyone. Welcome back to week 15 of Jux and All Things Sports Pod, presented by Always Bullin on YouTube and Spotify. If you're with us on YouTube, drop a like, hit the subscribe button, and if you're on Spotify, follow along and drop us a review. Parlay hit this or teaser hit this week. We got one TD score. We didn't have a field goal frenzy, correct, Train?
We did not.
So that did nothing. And then we had a heavenly push in the Money in the Bank play. I think that came out Sunday early morning, if I'm not mistaken.
Saturday.
Saturday? All right. But, anyways, welcome back. Another episode jumping into week 15 football. Playoff picture is starting to shape up, starting to see things. Scenarios are coming clear. The wild card spots are going to be a mess. We don't know what's happening yet, so it's making for a great last couple of weeks of football. But let's jump into last week. Early game, Thursday. Sometimes tough for us to bring our minds back. But 49ers pull out a game with Brock Purdy at quarterback again. And he looks calm. He looks cool and collected back there. But this is a great 49ers team that has been able to succeed with just Jimmy Garoppolo. With the way the 49ers look right now, Train, is Brock Purdy just a backup quarterback on a good football team? Or is he a legitimate bridge quarterback, potential to bounce around the league and fill in for teams, kind of like a Ryan Fitzpatrick role over the years? Is this a guy the other teams are going to want backing up or potentially starting games in the future?
He's probably on the worst team possible to get a good read on if that's true to be a bridge quarterback. The team around him on offense is just incredible. With Debo is out, but yeah, he just comes in there and he just looks so relaxed for a rookie QB, especially one that kind of needs to make a name for himself, being the last pick in the draft. He looks good. His numbers are good. He's got a great offense, but it's really hard to say what kind of backup he is because of what team he's on. If I had to guess, he hasn't played bad, and he's been delivering. So right now, I think he's a good backup, but it's hard to be a good backup if he's going to stay a third string, I think.
Ryan?
Just call me Ryan.
Gnar.
I did say Ryan, yeah.
I don't like that.
I just read it off the screen. I don't know what to tell you, man.
No, Trade said it best. I think for his career, this is a great place to be. He's shown he's at least competent. And yeah, he's definitely going to earn himself some more money here coming in the future based off the games he's played so far. I don't think this changes anything for the 49ers in the future. They have a lot in Trey Lance more than they do to Mr. Irrelevant. But, yeah, I think he's going to get more money based off the start he's had there in San Fran.
Yeah, I mean, like Train said, it's a tough team to make a read on it because the 49ers are a great team. But I think at a minimum, Brock Purdy showed that, if you're a contending team and you need a backup quarterback, maybe someone to back up a longtime veteran who maybe you can teach the ropes, he's at least shown he can win you games with good talent and good coaching. On the Money in the Bank play, a tremendous push. I think it was 33-0 at the halftime.
It was.
Yeah.
33-0 at the halftime for the Colts. Vikings managed to come all the way back and win it in overtime. It's a big comeback. It shows resilience for sure. But a lot of people are hung up on the idea that they struggled with the Colts for half a game. With the large comeback, though, is this... I'll bring it to you, Nar, since this is your NFC champ favorites from early on. A lot of people are putting the Vikings on fraud alert. Is this an encouraging comeback victory, or is this the Vikings managing to escape by the skin of their teeth?
Well, I don't think this was an escape at all. No team goes down 33 and consider it. In my mind, you can't say them winning that game is escaping. That's them putting together an incredible two quarters when clearly the first two game plan didn't work. They made some amazing changes going into half. Their coach got them ready, and then Kirk just fucking lit it up. And again, the Colts had some freak shit happen for them in the first 8 minutes of that game. It was unbelievable. I only watched half of it because I was mainly watching the Ferris game. But this was one of the best pushes I've ever had in my life. Largest NFL comeback, and I bet on it. I'll take it.
We'll take it. We'll take it. Train Vikings fraud alert or scary comeback win.
The comeback is nice to see if you're a Vikings fan. They have a great record, 2-3 seed right now, kind of battling out for it with the 49ers. So it's nice to see that they still have a lot of heart in the game and still want to win these games, even though it was a blowout. But the first half did happen. A lot of stuff did go the Colts' way, like Gnar said. But it was 33-0 at one point in your, a 2 seed right now? You good, Bark?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my camera to focus.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so,
Yeah.
I mean, it happened. It was 33-0, and we all thought Jeff Saturday on a Saturday was unstoppable.
Not Gnar. Not Gnar.
After the first half, you believed?
No, wait, yeah. Okay, correct.
That's when I thought he was unstoppable, is after that first half. I was like, oh, Jeff Saturday on a Saturday?
Yeah, if that happens, if he has that crazy ass win, you think he immediately goes to college so he can just always coach on Saturdays?
Yeah, he'd never lose again.
He's got to make sure he doesn't go to the MAC conference though, because then he's not playing on a Tuesday night.
Who knows if they can win on a Tuesday?
That'd be crazy. Jeff Saturday on a Tuesday. You don't think he sticks around after this season? You don't think they give him the nod?
Fuck no.
You think they keep him on the staff anywhere?
No.
Really?
He's
just
gone, bro.
He's just
I think he's like,
here for a good time, not a long time.
yeah, he's there for a good time. He's like, this fucking sucks. I'm working 80 hours a week. I could go back to the media and work 3.
Yeah, I suppose. But like, he wants to be here.
Not enough.
Well,
They're losing games.
it's not just easy to start winning. But regardless, snowball fights in Buffalo. Fans were throwing snowballs in the end zone at the Dolphins players. Cold weather game. Supposed to be scary. Bills barely escape. Is this encouraging for the Dolphins that they kept it close? Or is this just another knock on a Dolphins team that's been struggling lately? Trent?
I think it was just a trap game. Everyone had the Bills. Gnar teased the Bills. It hit, but I think a lot of people took them 7.5, and we didn't even watch this game, but so I don't have anything really on the game itself. But I think it is good for the Dolphins. I mean, it is a loss, but it shows that they can still hang with the Bills after a couple rough weeks.
So if you're a Finns fan, you're encouraged by that?
I don't know if encouraged would be a word I'd like to use, but lost by 3, AFC 1 seed in the cold where they play in Miami. I mean, a lot of factors, but you got to win. You have to win in this league, but if you're a Tua guy and you're starting not to believe, then this game kind of
he didn't play great.
He didn't play bad, at least from the stats. Again, that's all I'm going off.
What was he? 50% completion percentage.
Just over.
All over the fucking completion percentage.
He's closing his eyes and he's throwing it up to Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill, and they catch it and then they run.
I was gonna say that's usually a pretty good plan.
I can do that though.
I think Bark thinks he could be the Miami Dolphins quarterback.
I think I could. And I'd use my right arm too.
I think we've said it like 3 weeks in a row.
I don't understand what he's done that have made people be like, oh wow, Tua's like, he's it.
He's won games.
And people still they're not sold. People still aren't sold.
If I'm a Dolphins fan, there's no way I'm encouraged by this. A loss is a loss. like that team's in a win now mode. Who'd they trade for it defensively in the middle of the year?
The Dolphins?
No
Yeah.
idea.
4?
Yeah, I
Oh.
thought didn't they get somebody in the middle of the year?
Yeah.
Anyway, doesn't really matter. My point is they're in a win now mode, and now you're sitting at 8-6, and you're not sniffing the division anymore unless the Bills win out and you win out.
Bills lose
Bills
out.
lose out. And I got a quick note on the snowballs.
I'd love to
I
hear the
love
note on the snowballs.
I love Bills Mafia.
Oh, okay.
But this was a step too far. Only in certain situations. If we're celebrating a touchdown, throw as many as you want. Make sure you're loaded up so you can throw multiple. But when the Dolphins are running plays and you're throwing them at them while they're trying to catch a ball, that's kind of fucked up.
Mid play, it was mid play.
Mid play, snowballs were flying.
Yeah,
That's fucked up. In
Did the
between plays, I'm okay with. Celebrations, I'm okay with.
Did the refs stop it?
I do believe they made a PA announcement saying if more like an extensive amount of snowballs continue to get thrown, the Bills would be assessed a 15-yard penalty. So if I'm a Dolphins fan, there,
It was this guy. It was this guy.
But at the same time, then you're probably going to get mugged by the 50 million Bills fans surrounding you.
I get where you can see it as disrespectful, but it's also objectively hilarious.
Worth it
Agreed.
For 15 yards.
Because it can't cause harm, but it is incredibly disruptive. But technically, any NFL fan can throw a snowball on the field if there's snow. So it's like, is it really an unfair advantage?
Yeah, you're at home, so the home team's going to fuck up the away team more than they're going to. Like when Josh Allen was throwing darts in the end zone, not a single ball was in the air other than the damn football.
All right, so it's rude but funny.
And then Stephon Diggs hitting the gritty, then the snowballs can come. But in between that time, I don't think that should be happening.
Are you telling?
Hilarious, but rude.
Are you saying you wouldn't have done it?
I absolutely would have.
Okay, I just wanted to see if it was going to be hypocritical or not, because if I saw Bill's Mafia version of Gnar down low enough in a game like that, those snowballs are flying out.
Yeah, I probably would have said some things about Tua that wouldn't be politically correct while I'm throwing it, and yeah.
You probably would have said, watch, I'm going to hit this receiver right in the face on this slant. And you probably would. And then it'd be hilarious. It'd be a 15-yard penalty, and we'd survive.
Objectively very funny, but stretched too far.
Fair enough.
The more I talk about it, the more I'm on Bill's fan side, actually.
Really?
Scratch everything I said.
We're back to just let them fly, no matter what.
Let them fucking fly. It's football, baby.
Out of the cold, Lions have been hot lately. They do it again today against the Jets. Or not today, but this week against the Jets. Tough game, as people would have thought it would have been with the Jets defense, but a great Lions offense still. Good play calling again, sneaky fourth down. Train, it had to have been good to watch. Is it time to start playoff prep after a game like this? For fans, I'm not asking if the team needs to, but like if you're a fan, you're really thinking playoffs now, yeah?
Historically, as a fan base, we've been kind of let down a few times. So, no, I'm not. Panthers this week. I really don't want to think about playoffs, because what if we don't get in the playoffs? It's definitely doable not to get in the playoffs. We're hot right now. I love the Lions again. Beginning of the season, it's such it's just whoa. It's like a roller coaster. It just goes up or it goes all. I don't even know. That wouldn't even make any sense. A backwards roller coaster. It goes.
So you're still taking it 1 week at a time.
I mean, that's just kind of, I think, how they have to do it. I look at the playoff scenarios and
For sure.
go through everything, but right now, if I had to tell them anything, I would be like, Panthers. Don't even think about the Bears at home. Don't even think about the warm weather you get to. Well, warm indoors you get to play in at home with a huge crowd. It's going to be massive. You don't even think about it. Just think about the Panthers, who, I mean, they're 3-3 or 4-4 at home, and we're 4-4 away or something like that. So we're both 500. So it's kind of a toss up this week, and they've been kind of hot, other than when Gnar and the Steelers kind of put them down. But honestly, I'd kind of have to disagree about our offense. It didn't look too great, but it makes sense. I would have liked it to look a little bit better without Quentin Williams.
It's a
He didn't
great
play.
Jets D, though.
I know. I would. It's hard from going 1 week to another, seeing that, and I don't know. I've been trying to think about what I was going to say about this team, but it was just, I've come to the conclusion that Dan Campbell is going to go for it on these huge fourth downs, like 2-3 times a game, and like for me, if that happens for 20 years, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. I've realized it's
Get the
gonna
heart
happen.
medication now.
Yeah, I've realized it's gonna happen, but every time I watch it, it's just still crazy in my head. 2 minutes after the game ended, they missed the field goal, 58-yarder. We won't talk about how they got it that close.
You're lucky they didn't use timeouts correctly as well.
Yeah, I know.
Otherwise, it would have been a lot closer.
The 6.5 win total, future hit, and a future Lions bet hit. So that was crazy.
And then also in the NFC North, Eagles escape a close game against the Bears. Hurts didn't look great through the air. Fields looked all right. Both quarterbacks shined on the ground. For these two guys, I mean, you got Justin Fields, who's on an awful Bears team, and Jalen Hurts, who's having an MVP season right now. What are their future outlooks? Are these guys you see having continued success with their team? Gnar?
Justin Fields is going to be so fucking good next year. I truly believe he's going to be the best fantasy quarterback at the end of the year next year. I said this 4 or 5 weeks ago, I think. I said Justin Fields is where Jalen Hurts was last year. Now, Justin Fields is far and away above where Hurts was last year. Fields is playing on Hurts' level.
Are they going to try to get an A.J. Brown type of trade, or what do you think the Bears are going to do to help him be Jalen
That's what
Hurts?
I'm saying. If you put an A.J. Brown-esque player, a Devontae Smith-esque player, and a Dallas Goedert-esque player on that team,
And their offensive line.
They got Cole Kmet.
Justin Fields would be nasty. Top 5 quarterback in the league.
You're not worried about his arm talent?
His arm talent? Dude throws dots. Long balls. All he's got to work is his short midterm accuracy. His deep ball is beautiful.
Just his short and midterm accuracy.
That stuff comes. And then he can run 50 yards a time whenever you want to.
I think we're looking at Kyler Murray 2.0. I think you're going to get a couple of electric seasons of a nice, athletic, little speedy quarterback who can throw a deep ball and look sexy every once in a while. But when it comes down to brass tacks, I don't think he's going to win games.
I disagree. Like, you look at Kyler Murray and what you just talked about, that came in the first 2 seasons. This has been Justin Fields. Ever since he got in the league. He started shitty, looked awful. Basically all of last year. Started kind of bad this year, and then he's just been better. He's more athletic than Jalen Hurts.
What happens if he busts a knee?
Well, what happens if anyone
What
busts
the
him?
fuck?
I know, but if he loses his legs, how far is his arm going to carry him?
What if fucking Trevor Lawrence breaks his kneecap? What kind of point is that?
Trevor Lawrence would take a year off to fix the kneecap. He'd come back, and he could be a pocket passer without having to worry about scrambling. He's got the arm talent for it.
Okay, if anybody has a devastating injury, yes, they're going to be worse than they originally were.
Joe Burrow.
I have no idea what you're getting at right now.
Joe Burrow.
ACL.
Joe
That was a nice
Burrow,
steal.
horrific injury, comes back, great quarterback still.
Give me two more, and I'll give you the argument. Two more quarterbacks. That's what I fucking thought.
Michael
Well,
Vick sustained multiple injuries, came back, still survived with his arm talent. All
and you
these
just
All these
and for
young
what
guys come in and get compared to Michael Vick because they're just as fast as him and can do all that. But none of them have been able to throw a ball like Michael Vick and run. That's why his career was as long as it was. Lamar Jackson might not even get renewed by the team that drafted him because he's losing his legs and he can't throw a football as well as these other guys.
I agree. I'm not saying Justin Fields has arm talent that fucking Patrick Mahomes does, but he's electric factory for the next 3 years.
Better arm
All
than
I said
Kyler
was
Murray?
yes. Good night. Easy.
I don't watch enough Bears football to disagree with that.
He's also like 4 inches taller than that midget.
Yeah, that's how tall. 6'1", 6'2", probably.
Yes.
Yeah,
6'2".
average size. Yeah, that's fair. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not a Bears fan. I think he's going to terrorize. He might be. I think he also will be the number one ranked fantasy quarterback. I don't think they're going to win as many games as they should, though, with him at quarterback. Saints and Falcons both having very mediocre seasons. Mariota straight up left the team when they decided to roll with Ritter. And the Saints have Andy Dalton starting with Jameis Winston on the bench. Desmond Ritter didn't look good. Neither of these teams looks particularly great right now. What's the next step for either of these teams? Are they on similar paths? Do they have different needs? Train?
I just don't care about these teams at all.
You don't care about you don't care about Desmond Ritter?
No.
Kyle Pitts?
I mean, he's kind of cool. I mean, they're playing really bad in a really bad division, and it's weird. What can they do to fix these teams? I think they're just pretty much at the same spot, and they need to either start tanking every year, or actually finding replacements for. I mean, these quarterbacks. Marcus Mariota was a starter for how long?
Too long.
And then, yes, too long. And then they keep in Andy Dalton. I mean, I think a quarterback really, really changes a team, especially when you have Jameis. Why aren't you playing Jameis Winston?
We've been asking it for weeks, man.
Just put him. I mean, they won this game, so whatever. But the Saints are still 5-9, same as the Falcons. I don't think they definitely have a shot at the South, but.
Who's winning the South right now?
The Bucks.
At 6-8?
Yes.
I think
Wow.
they're leading the division.
That's why the Panthers are still in
Damn.
against the Lions, because they're 5-9, right behind them.
That's
So
crazy.
they care. Yeah.
That's worse than. Oh no, oh, it's close. At least the
bad.
team leading the AFC South is 500.
Yeah. They're not.
The Titans aren't.
No, the Bucks.
Oh,
The Bucks are.
okay. I couldn't even remember if the Titans were or weren't. But yeah, I don't. Do you think these are teams that look to move up in the draft and get one of these top tier quarterbacks? Are they teams that are going to sit back, get a quarterback later, and hope he develops, or are they teams that look to sign one in free agency?
I don't think the Falcons are even looking at a quarterback. They got a rookie last year. I'm assuming they're going to want to keep him. So if the Falcons do anything in the quarterback area, they're going to look for a veteran to start a year or two and show Desmond Ritter the way. Saints, however, I could see a little bit of movement because clearly Jameis isn't their guy for whatever reason.
Yeah, I don't know. We've been saying it, Gnar, that we need more JMO in the world, but
If he starts, Money in the Bank play immediately.
first game, Jameis Winston's back. It's got to be on the board.
Yep.
Steelers D dominates again. Steelers are just turning into the Big Ten football of the NFL. It's going to be a gritty game when you play the Steelers nowadays. The defense is going to continue to punish. and the offense is under poor leadership in terms of coaching. And Kenny Pickett's still down and out, so we're watching Mitch Trubisky. Can Kenny Pickett keep this team competing when he comes back? I think I've asked if he's the long-term answer, but I mean, this is a win with Mitch Trubisky at the helm, and I think we at least know Kenny Pickett's better. Are you confident as a Steelers fan with the outlook of this team, Gnar?
For this year, absolutely not. This year's been a wash. I don't know what I expected going into it. You got a rookie quarterback with an awful offensive coordinator, by the way, and an injured TJ Watt. However, I have enjoyed watching their resiliency. They just didn't fold over like a dead whale and just let the season become bad like I wanted them to for draft pick reasons. Because now we're not even inside the top 10 draft picks, which is horrid.
Yeah.
I just at this point, I just want to see Kenny in there. I want to watch him win, and I'm getting sucked into the black hole of playoff scenarios where the Steelers sneak in.
Yeah, all three of us are kind of down there. I don't know how far fetched the Steelers is.
It's not far.
Jags don't have a lot of scenarios, just like the one that's fairly easy to remember, and then I know the NFC is kind of a jumble. But I mean, a lot of teams got a chance right now.
The NFC is a huge jumble. I mean, with the ties that a couple of these teams have, I think it's mainly it's just the Texans, Colts, and Commanders, Giants, I think. But the Commanders and Giants definitely affects the Lions a lot, and we might get into it, we might not. But
Which one?
that Commanders Giants tie was awful for the Lions.
Oh, yeah.
I think Gnar's probably got some Steelers scenarios.
There's actually no way they're getting in. I just looked. The 5, 6, and 7 seed in the AFC is 8 and 6 or better.
Yeah,
The Steelers are 6 and 8.
Jags only have a chance because the AFC South.
Yeah,
Well,
Steelers aren't getting in.
They'll have an E next to their name for eliminated, but if they don't, you're safe.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at so in front of them for being on the bubble, you got Vegas, Jacksonville, Jets, New England. New England plays Cincinnati. New York Jets or Jacksonville is going to take each other out, and then the Steelers got Vegas.
Yeah.
They could move up 3 spots in 1 week.
Yeah.
You just said there was no way, and now you're saying there's a way.
You just had to read it out loud.
You just had to start talking through things.
I'm just saying that gets us to the 8th seed, which means you're not in the playoffs and you're the furthest away from draft pick as possible.
That is also
So
a
they gotta-
fact.
After that.
They got to choose one or the other right now because I don't like this fucking in between bullshit.
He's got to go 500.
He
Yeah.
does need to go 500.
He's got to, dude. He's got to get 500.
I think we should bet a tie for the Steelers the next 3 weeks,
That might happen.
and then he'll go 8, 8, and 1 because they're not winning 4 in a row.
They might.
They might.
Jaguars offense shines in an overtime victory against the Cowboys.
What about their defense?
The defense is very, very bad. I've been very open about that. But let me get this offense off my chest. This was a game I was worried about going in. And when we were looking at playoff scenarios, it was a game we counted as a Jags loss in terms of we can still make it in. Jags win, Titans lose. It was incredible. And although the defense did play awful, they ended the game on a pick 6 in overtime after the offense failed to do jack shit on the opening drive. But Trevor Lawrence continues to look phenomenal. Travis Etienne needs to keep his hands on the football. Zay Jones is a dog. Christian Kirk is a good distraction and can make plays when needed. And Evan Ingram's looking explosive. The offense is looking good outside of the O-line. There can be some fixes there. But the highlight of this is Trevor Lawrence. This is the guy who came into a draft touted as the greatest college prospect since Andrew Luck. He was as can't miss as you can be in the NFL draft. When Andrew Luck came in, he turned like a 2-14 Colts team and a playoff team. These were the comps we were getting. Trevor Lawrence came in and we went 1-16. It was rough. It hurt. It was a bad season.
But you had a coach that liked to finger buttholes.
But our coach liked to finger buttholes and kick kickers. So that was the hope. But when you've got a can't miss guy like this, you're not supposed to have to wait for him to pan out. He was supposed to be ready. But I said it early in the podcast this season. I said this was a quarterback who got set backwards by Urban Meyer. And it was going to take him time to even get back to just being the equivalent of first game in the NFL. And I understand that you cannot say this is his rookie season. I get it. You can't. But in terms of his development, that's where he's on track for. He hit that start of his rookie season week 9. This isn't a stretch of Trevor Lawrence that is just, he's playing good right now. This is Trevor Lawrence. This is what we're going to continue to see. This is what they said he was going to be. This is what the draft promised. This is what he is. I do want to issue 2 apologies because I'm very passionate about this, and he is a great quarterback. Number 1, and I don't take back what I said, but I'm toning it down. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame. I don't expect other people to accept that, and I'm going to keep pushing other people to accept that. It's not on them to accept. I know you have to wait and see, but he will be there. So I apologize for pushing that and thinking people are crazy for not agreeing with that. Number 2, I don't like that other quarterbacks got caught in the crossfire. Multiple quarterbacks can prosper at the same time. Trevor Lawrence can be great, while other quarterbacks can also be great. I didn't mean any disrespect, and I didn't intend to bring other quarterbacks in, but they were brought in as part of the Hall of Fame debate, which was
For the sake of education to the audience, can you just say what you said yesterday? What was the argument you were making?
Trevor Lawrence is a better quarterback than Jared Goff.
Okay.
And Lamar
Right now.
Jackson, you said.
And Lamar Jackson. Yeah, right now, Trevor Lawrence is a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson.
You just laughed while you said it. You don't even believe it.
I believe that. I do believe that. Honest. We'll get to the quarterback power rankings later in the episode. But this is it. This is legit. He's here to stay. I converted to him early in fantasy football. A lot of my moves were very questionable, including that one. But I didn't get last. So that's okay. But I've been here. I knew it was going to come, and it's here. This is the Trevor Lawrence we're going to see. This is it. This is what Andrew Luck looked like. I think this is a Jags team that isn't going to be stopped going down the stretch. That being said, I do agree with Train that I'm still going 1 week at a time because we haven't beaten the Texans in like 9 games. The Jets defense looked terrifying. Our left tackle went down.
It could be a good thing because he's been stinky.
Yeah, but also our left guard didn't practice today. I think Walker Little might be better than Cam Robinson, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm still a little worried about the Jets because they got 2 great cornerbacks. And it's going to be a tough week to come out of after talking this much Trevor Lawrence hype. But I think he's a great quarterback. I think the numbers have been speaking for themselves since week 9, halfway point through the season. After a year of playing for a coach who doesn't even take the team flight back and kicks players on his team, I mean, that's demoralizing. That's all I have to say on this. I reiterate my apologies.
I was Team Jags this week. I went over to Barks, watched the new Avatar movie. I said Jags plus 4.5. I'm gonna tease them to 10.5. Lock, just lock it with anything else that you like, and that leg will hit. Reen didn't know; he wasn't sure. I don't really know how Bark felt about it. I don't know how
Not
confident he
confident.
was. And I watched that game. They won. They covered definitely, but they won in overtime, and I was pumped. And then Bark just Hall of Fame Trevor Lawrence out of nowhere. I was like,
I said that at
well,
work the next day, I think.
yes. So it's that's where we're kind of coming from, and that's why he thinks. I mean, he's kind of defending himself, saying he apologizes. But yeah, I was like, man, I don't really want to root for the Jags if that's what I hear after they win a pretty big game. I feel like I was pretty respectful about the Goff thing. I didn't want to get into that. I'm still not going to get into it. But yeah, let's carry on.
I didn't want to get into it either, and someone asked me who the quarterbacks were. I didn't want to compare. I didn't want to.
Nice hat, Gnar.
Almost took the Chiefs in the teaser. Would have been like minus 10.5. They escape an overtime game against the Texans, who continue to keep it close against good teams for whatever reason. Another scary thing for a team remaining on Jaguars' schedule. Are the Texans closer to a completed rebuild than people think by keeping these games close, or is it just teams playing relaxed against the Texans and there's a lot of holes that still need to be repaired?
Yeah, I think it's just a story of teams not taking them seriously. And the Chiefs are just famous for, especially this year, for playing games way closer than they should be. They're not great for covering true spreads unless you tease them. So I think this was just a simple overlook by Mahomes and the crew. They still ended up getting it done. And the Texans also had, I think, a pick six and like 2 turnovers within the red zone. You know?
Yeah, like a fumble, a muff punt, I think, maybe early.
Yeah.
Or is that?
Yeah. So things went their way in order to have it be that close. But I think teams do overlook this Texans team, especially late in the season when they should be wanting to lose to guarantee that number one pick.
I think they're in a better spot than like the Falcons that I was talking about.
I would agree.
I mean, do they have better players? No, but they're gonna have that pick. And what I've learned, at least from this season,
and the Browns pick.
Yeah, exactly.
Couple 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Browns picks.
Respectfully. So I mean, they're obviously in a better spot, I think, than the Falcons. They know what they have, and they're gonna have the number one pick. And when they do have the number one pick, I've learned that having like a 4 through 6, that's huge. Like first round 4 through 6, but having the 1, 2 is monumental.
Yeah,
It's changed the Lions. I mean, Hutch, I little Hutch love. I mean, he impacts the game so much, and obviously
been phenomenal out of the gate.
Trevor Lawrence, 1-1 Hall of Fame.
Quick shout out on that really quick. It's a National Frank Gore and Jets Day. They accidentally won a game near the end of the season to give us Trevor Lawrence in the draft, essentially.
Oh,
On
this day.
Because they got Zach Wilson out of it, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And we would have totally taken Zach Wilson number 2 too.
I don't know who the Texans are going to get in this draft, but I think it's going to change their team. And it's only going to change it for the better. It might take a year, like how we thought the Lions were supposed to be. But yeah, I think they're in a better spot, even when they're making these games pretty close.
Speaking of teams in a better spot, and highly drafted quarterbacks, Joe Burrow mounts a 17-point comeback win against Buccaneers, a team that's been struggling, but apparently still leading their division. It's a tough question to ask because they are, again, winning the division. But who is to blame in Tampa Bay right now?
Well,
who?
Would you say?
Giselle.
Really?
I don't know. I think
you think if she stayed with Tom and just like, all right, yeah, you can do one more year of football, they're fine.
It just looks like nobody wants to be on that sideline. You watch Brady yell at these guys, and they do the wave. All right, fuck off, old man, get out of my face.
Yeah.
It just doesn't look like they want to be. They don't look motivated to be there.
They're done listening to a 45-year-old.
Yeah, like half that team went there to ring chase with Brady. They got their ring, and they're just kind of like, all right.
Yeah, they're like, why didn't you leave, bro?
Yeah, exactly.
Bengals looked good. Bengals look good.
Continue.
Big deficit to overcome.
Yeah, it's a same thing we've seen all year with these Bengals. They are a amazing second half team, and the fact we've At least I've let it go this far without making money off of them. So next 3 weeks, Bengals second half, no matter what, take their spread.
Ridiculous ending in the Raiders Patriots game. A big old lateral down the field, toss the ball backwards play, intercepted near the end. Mac Jones gets laid down on his back with a stiff arm, and the Raiders take it to the house as time expires. I only bring this up because it's been mentioned. It's been circulating. Did Matt Patricia take the Lions curse with him back to New England?
No, I think
Yeah.
he's an awful OC.
Well, yeah, because he's DC, comes to the Lions, demolishes the locker room and all the players in it, and then he goes back to offense on the Patriots. Did he take the curse away, Trent? You said it yourself. The Lions are doing things the Lions don't normally do, and the Patriots seem to be doing things the Lions used to do.
I mean, we can blame this on Matt Patricia. That'd be fun.
It'd be so fun.
Not a big fan, but what the fuck was Jacoby Myers doing? I know everyone's saying that right now.
Hey,
Like,
Jack
and
Moans could have made the tackle.
Yeah. I mean, he could have did a little face mask, just rip him down by his head. It's not a touchdown.
Yeah,
I mean,
give
it's
him
probably an easy field goal, but it's not a touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, time was already gone by that point, though.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
I think for a
I'm-
penalty though, they'd have to give him a kick.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, they'd have to let him try.
And on time down, yeah.
Yeah,
You're right.
I don't know. I think he might have taken the curse with him, which good, because fuck that guy. I mean, I was the Lions fan at the beginning of that tenure, and it was
Hammy loves hearing that, by the way.
when they got rid of Quandre Diggs and Big Play Slay for nothing, dude. And Slay and Quandre are just like, good, fuck this guy. That's when like I remember the Lions fans like, what is going on? This guy was supposed to be a defensive guru. He was supposed to fix everything, and he just rode around on a little ATV with a megaphone like a joke coach in a D3 movie. And then the Patriots just take him right back after that. It's ridiculous. So I hope he cursed the Patriots. Fuck that guy and fuck the Patriots while we're at it.
I'll take that.
Giants have a controversial win over the Commanders. I want to talk about the refereeing at the end if you saw it or heard about it. Is this something that's a problem, or is it just a missed call that happened once and now our attention is on it? With sports betting and everything right now, is throwing games a thing? The pass interference, the ref like approving the receiver's position and then throwing the false start flag right away. Thoughts? Controversial? Non-factor?
Definitely controversial. There's something to that. That happens every play. The wide receiver looks down, waits for the nod. You get the nod or you don't get the nod, then you adjust accordingly. He got the nod, and then he just looked back at the quarterback and he threw it right away. There's something fishy about that, or maybe it's just a blown call, but with the way sports betting has exploded the last 2 years, I don't think it's out of the realm of possibilities for that to be part of it all.
Trent?
Was it like illegal formation because he wasn't on the line of scrimmage? Correct?
Something like that, yeah. I don't know. I didn't play receiver in Pee Wee, but I always remember people checking with the refs.
Yeah, and he did. He did.
Yeah.
At least.
And the
once or
ref
twice.
said something and like scooted him up, and then
Thing is, not that I don't trust Terry McLaurin, but he's saying that the ref said, "Yep, you're good," but it didn't look like he was on the line of scrimmage, and I don't know if I'm willing to say that the whole NFL is rigged because of what Terry McLaurin said or ref said.
it's technically licensed as an entertainment business, so they can script games.
Yeah, it'd make a lot of sense. Maybe, they're like, "Fuck the Lions! It's their time. Let's do it."
Storybook ending.
Maybe there is a curse, and it's a fake curse, but they're making it a real curse, and Patricia did take it.
See? Maybe we're on to something. Last time we were on to something, it came true the next day, so if that breaks on Twitter, it's going to be pretty ridiculous. I want to touch on this one quick, then we'll get in to a couple other things outside of NFL football. Packers keep their playoff hopes alive. Talking about their remaining schedule with the announcer. Throws a little shot at the Lions. She says, the rest of your teams are over 500 or something. He goes, well, one of them is 500. Smirked at the camera. Train?
Who said that?
Aaron Rodgers.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Train, does it worry you as a past Lions fan that Aaron Rodgers might crush the playoff dreams? And number two, if it doesn't worry you, did it make you upset that he's still dismissing the Lions after they already beat him once? Shouldn't say dismissing, but
this is the first time I'm hearing of this. And
really,
it doesn't shock me.
I haven't seen that either.
And it doesn't shock me, really. I mean, it's a divisional opponent and long-term rivalry. He hates the Bears, probably hates the Lions, probably hates the Vikings. So it makes sense there. Does it scare me to play them the last game of the season in Lambeau? Yeah. I mean, yes. Historically, Rodgers has kind of screwed us over a few times. And he could make it one more before he leaves. And I think, we're getting to that point where he would really like to do that. And I'd rather it be, if it is his last game in Lambeau against the Lions, I would like to come out on top and beat him to go to the playoffs. But obviously, right?
Yeah.
We'll end the NFL with this until bets. Quarterback power rankings. Top 5. And I say right now as in like at this point in the season. I'm not asking you to go on stats and give me, going into next week.
Yeah,
if you could have any
I say we should just do it if you can have any quarterback for the rest of the year. Just this year.
All right, yeah.
There's 3 games in a regular season and then playoffs.
Yeah.
Who do you want this year?
Yes, sir.
That's it.
I agree.
That's it.
I agree.
This year.
100%.
Okay. So no second-year Hall of Fame potential. Okay.
Yeah. No, this is just, yeah.
Okay.
Let's go, Gnar.
Okay.
Let's hear them.
All right,
Okay.
just do it like one at a time. Where Gnar lists
Give me your
one, or is he
5.
going 5?
Give me your 5.
You want all 5 right now?
All 5. Give me your top 5 quarterback power rankings.
1 through 3 are quite simple and easy, and I think all 3 of us will have this. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow.
I agree. Train you as well. Would you change that?
Patrick Mahomes.
The order, that wasn't really an order.
Oh.
Either.
Patrick Mahomes, number 1, I think.
Yes.
Yeah.
Him being injured kind of screws over my thought process, but they've only lost 1 game. Jalen Hurts. I think they're just resting him.
Oh, yeah, for
He's
sure.
an MVP right now. And then it would go Joe Burrow.
So you have Josh Allen not in the top 3.
No, not with his decisions this season.
Okay, no,
Hurts behind Burrow, or the other way around. I mean,
he had Mahomes, Hurts, Burrow.
Holy shit!
So now continue with your 5 then. I thought we were all going to be on the same page with the top 3 there.
Yeah, I have Hurts number 4. I think Hurts is a great quarterback. How can you not want him when he's playing MVP caliber? He's probably top of the list right now. Here's where I think we're all going to disagree. 3 games in the regular season are left, and then the playoffs. You want somebody who's been playing good this year. And for me, you want somebody that's been there, that's done that. You want somebody who's heating up. And that man is Jared Goff. He's my number 5 right now for the rest of the year, for playoffs included. He's got football IQ. He gets through his reads. He doesn't make bad decisions. And he's getting the ball out quick, and he's making great decisions and plays. He's accurate. I just like his experience and his Experience is the biggest thing that wins that number 5 spot for me.
Train 1 through 5.
Go ahead, Bark. I want you to go. I want you to go second because it sounds like I had one completely different, and you could just kind of wrap up your 4 or 5 with that was the same as Gnar. Is it Jalen at 4?
For the sake of not being controversial, that is my 1 through 3. If you want my true rankings,
Yeah.
Yeah. I want your true rankings.
I'll do mine officially. I have Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Hurts, Goofball.
this is banana lands of me to say. But it's going to be Mahomes number 1. It's going to be Josh Allen number 2 because the decision making doesn't scare me. With that arm talent and the mobility on the ground, that's fine. I'll take it. I'll take some picks. My defense is good enough.
Good
I
so
wasn't
far.
gonna do this. I was gonna stick him at 5. But right now, it's gonna be Joe Burrow at 3. He's been in the playoffs. He's been in the Super Bowl.
Wait, he was gonna be at 5?
No, I threw you guys off.
Oh,
It was always Joe Burrow. It was always Joe Burrow at 3.
Okay.
He's just looked good.
Buckle in.
Last year, he's been there this year. He's got good weapons, and his offensive line is bad. The whole thing was, you draft Jamar Chase, not no lineman. Good luck him getting it to him. He's been doing it. He's fine. Number 4, Trevor Lawrence. Like I said, this is the quarterback we were promised. This isn't a fad. This is Trevor Lawrence. This is what it is. Since week 9, he's been, which is halfway through the NFL season, he's been number 1 in passer rating, number 1 in completion percentage, and number 1 in touchdowns thrown. 14 touchdowns, or number tied for second in touchdowns, 14 total, including on the ground. Number 1 passer rating, 70% completion percentage, and he's thrown 1 pick since week 9 behind a bad O-line. His receivers lead the league in drops. This guy's got talent. He's playing with a defense who can't stop anybody. The fact that they're winning games and the fact that he's looking good is phenomenal. Get some weapons around him. Next year, it's going to be scary. He's here. He's back. He's here to stay. He's number 4 in my power rankings. Number 5, Jalen Hurts. He's doing good with it. He's a dual threat on the ground. He's got his off games through the air, but so what? Then he just turns it upfield with his feet. And the Eagles are winning games. Yeah, I can't not put a quarterback who's got that kind of record in my top 5 power rankings. One of the biggest assets of a quarterback is to win games. So that's me.
I think I pretty much said my 4. Mahomes, Hurts, Burrow, and Allen. I almost switched when you said the running game with Josh Allen, but
He's been phenomenal on the ground.
no, that's why I almost switched.
Yeah.
But I think right now, historically, Josh Allen hasn't gotten to where these Bills have, should be getting every season.
He's still young though. Like, yeah, come on.
Yeah, you had Trevor Lawrence at 4, so still young. And number 5 is kind of where it gets tricky. I want to say Goff. I want to go with Gnar. But after getting injured early on in the season, and then kind of slowly working back, I think Herbert is a good 5 to have. He's looked really good at least the last 2 games. So if we can base it off the last 2 games for Trev, we can base it off of him. His arm is insane. And maybe he doesn't have the mobility as some of the other top 4, but I think he can place the ball anywhere he wants, any time of the day.
I agree. That's a good ranking. I mean, Goff and Herbert will be rounding out mine too. Also great quarterbacks. And then that's when I think you start to hit mediocre city right now. But
Yeah.
I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be fun going forward. We'll see how it goes. Playoff football is starting to take the league by storm. Playoff implications, at least. Ferris State wins the Natty, back-to-back champs. Go Dogs, forever and always. Pistons look rough. That's all right.
Whatever
Yeah,
his name
we're
is.
tanking for Wemby. Red Wings are still dealing with injuries. Vrana comes back. Congratulations to him. He was in the player assistance program, getting help with whatever he needed to get help with. So claps up for Vrana for getting back. Wings still got a chance to recover. They can, they might. Tigers go out and sign Scott Lorenzen. Someone called him the Republican Otani. He's kind of a two-way player, except not even a little bit. 4.5 ERA last year, hit about 240 before when he was in the NL. They're bringing him in to eat up innings. Another low-key move by Scott Harris. Don't hold your breath for more. On to bets this week. The teaser hit. The prop bets were 1 and 2 on the touchdown score, and Money in the Bank got a push. Teaser's getting hot, boys. Train's 10 and 3 on the year. Gnar's 9 and 4. I'm 13 and 0. Barely survived this week, jumping off of that Chiefs, but we're looking hot. I mean, those 4-7 losses between the two of you are just that. Every teaser we've had that missed was one game, but I think it's at least two in a row now, maybe 3.
Yeah, 2 or 3.
Yeah.
I would go
So-
back and look at it.
What do you guys got for us, Train? You said you had yours locked and loaded, I think, last night.
Troy Lions. You can't give me it. So when we do tease it, we get plus points. If we keep winning like this, and we're going against the Panthers, who I think,
Just lost to the Steelers, don't mind you.
yeah.
If the
The
Steelers
Steelers-
put up 24 points, you guys should get at least 40.
For it to be, it was at plus or -3 yesterday. Sorry, I'm so used to saying plus.
It's okay.
Now it's -2.5 today. So even if it keeps creeping closer and closer to us getting, the underdog, which it won't happen, but even if it does, I'll take it. I'll let it go and keep it going down low. Lions right now -2.5 down to 4.5.
Yep.
Plus
Yeah.
4.5?
Yeah, plus 4.5, according to what you sent out today.
Right.
Yeah. No, what do you got for us?
I want you guys to give me your input on this. And I'm just simply trying to not overthink this. Saints Browns. The over-under is sitting at 31 points right now.
Okay.
Saints to +9. There's not going to be that many points in the game. How can a team win by 10 points?
That makes sense.
Right?
I didn't
That
know
makes
where
sense?
you were going with that at first, but then I figured it out, and it makes sense. Is that your pick?
Well, I'm terrified because it's awful weather, and one
Yeah.
team has a good running game and one team doesn't.
Tomorrow's not bad.
Yeah, Kamara's
And
not bad.
Chubb didn't practice today.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah.
Saints.
All right.
Saints.
Saints, Lions. I'm gonna take the Bengals.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the Bengals from +3 or -3.5 to +3.5. They're playing the Patriots. It's not related to the curse. It's a little bit related to the curse, but the Patriots just haven't looked good. The Bengals have looked great. I'm a little worried some random Bill Belichick record against Joe Burrow or the Bengals will pop up later, but people have been breaking those stereotypes this year. I don't think it's the same Patriots. I don't think it's the same Bill Belichick. Give me points with the Bengals. No way they lose by more than a field goal. Bengals, Lions, Saints. Lock it in for the week. Touchdown scorers, boys. Who do we got?
I was chalk last week. I took Kelsey. I can't believe it didn't hit. He had 10 receptions. This could be the most chalk play ever taken as a touchdown scorer. I think you could ever take. It's Derrick Henry. Now, if I don't hit
Oh,
this, I swear to you, if he doesn't score a
it's
touchdown,
gonna be like minus 205.
it might be minus 500, but if he doesn't get in the end zone, I've got the curse back because I need to hit a touchdown score, and I just need to see green
Yeah.
on my
Mhm.
end.
Yeah.
Okay, he's going against the Texans. He always goes over 200 against them. If he gets 200 and doesn't score a touchdown, I don't know. We'll see, because it's happened. Yeah.
Mm.
Let's hit it.
No, you got one?
Mm.
Because I do if you need more time.
Any Vikings wide receiver? No, I'm not gonna do that.
Can I,
Kenneth Walker, K9.
Is he playing?
Okay. KJ
oh,
Osborne.
yeah, he's
Fuck. TJ Hawkinson. Final.
final.
No, Bark, you gotta go. I need to rethink everything.
He does.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
Well, he gave you a lot of time. No, I'm just kidding.
They're playing the Panthers. Not a great secondary. And I think this is going to be a Lions offense that comes out motivated after playing a Jets defense that kind of stifled them. So I think they're going to be motivated. I think they're going to want to throw the football and show everyone they're still the same old Lions. No, sorry, not the same old Lions. The same new current Lions that they've been being recently. I think they're going to attack. They're going to attack through the air. I think Amon-Ra finds one. I think Goff's going to be able to sit in the pocket. There's too many O linemen and only one pass rusher for the Panthers who's really concerning. So I think it's a wide open game for Amon-Ra to get a touchdown. Lock it. Gnar?
I like DK Metcalf. Chiefs defense has been fringy. They just gave up a shit ton of points to an awful Houston team. And it's a Seahawks team that's playing for a playoff life. So I think that's going to be a high scoring game initially. So I think DK gets at least one of them.
DK Metcalf, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Derrick Henry, lock it in. Teaser, we got Saints. Don't tell me. Bengals and Lions. Lock it in as well. Follow on Twitter, Juck Sports Pod for the Field Goal Frenzy and any betting updates. On TikTok at Juck Sports Pod as well. If you're listening on Spotify, drop a follow, drop a rating. If you're on YouTube, like, subscribe. Closing thoughts from anybody? You look ready to talk, Trainer?
Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Enjoy the holidays. Drive safe. Be safe. Until next time, as always, fist it.